Have you ever noticed that some people seem to almost disappear on social media? No selfies, no check ins, no showing off their lives. While everyone around them is sharing every moment, they choose to stay silent. If you're one of them, or you know someone like that, it might say more than you think. Most people assume that not posting photos on social media is a sign of shyness, lack of confidence, or even being socially disconnected. But psychology sees it in a completely different way. Behind that silence is often a very distinct way of thinking. First, it's about prioritizing privacy. People who rarely post photos tend to have very clear control over their personal boundaries. They don't feel the need to let the whole world know where they are, what they're doing, or what they look like. It's not that they have something to hide, but rather that they understand not everything needs to be shared. For them, the value of an experience comes from fully living it, not from proving it to others. This shows a high level of self-control when it comes to protecting their mental space. Next, it's a strong sense of self-awareness. These individuals usually know exactly who they are, what they want, and what truly matters to them. They don't rely on likes or comments to validate their self-worth. While many people unconsciously compare their lives to the polished images online, they are less likely to get caught up in that cycle. Their happiness doesn't come from external attention, but from internal satisfaction. Another factor is emotional stability. Not posting photos often goes hand in hand with not depending on other people's feedback. They don't post a picture just to wait for compliments, nor do they delete a post simply because it gets little engagement. This shows a strong sense of self-esteem, not easily influenced by outside opinions. Psychology suggests that people like this tend to experience less anxiety and are better able to focus on their personal goals. In addition, they are often deep thinkers. Instead of reacting immediately, they tend to observe, analyze, and reflect. They don't share everything just because others are doing it. When they do speak or post something, it's usually because it genuinely matters to them. This comes from a mindset known as internal orientation, meaning they evaluate themselves based on their own standards rather than society's. Another important reason is that they clearly understand the nature of social media. They realize that most of what gets posted is carefully curated and doesn't reflect the full reality. When you constantly see others appearing happy, successful, and perfect, your brain easily falls into comparison mode. And that comparison is the root of many negative feelings. By not getting too involved in sharing, they are protecting their mental health from invisible pressures. Imagine you're enjoying a quiet evening, a small trip, or a joyful moment with loved ones. Some people will immediately think about taking a photo and posting it, but these individuals don't. They stay in that moment longer. They experience it more fully. And sometimes, that's exactly what creates a sense of true happiness. So if you're someone who doesn't post photos on social media very often, it doesn't mean you're uninteresting or disconnected. You might simply be someone who understands the value of privacy, has a high level of self-awareness, and doesn't need external validation to feel fulfilled. And if you've ever wondered why you're different from the crowd, it might not be a weakness, but rather a subtle way you're protecting yourself. If you enjoy exploring the hidden reasons behind how people think and behave, keep following along. Because sometimes the things you consider normal actually say a lot about who you are